What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Flow. I am your host for today, or at least your intro host for today, Cardiac. Joining with me is my co-host, Archeotics, Mr. Undercooked, aka Dylan, and Ichiban. Say what's good, guys.
Was good.
Why am I like the only? I just realized that. Why am I the only one with their like IRL name? Like everybody in the description I see is just like everybody's username, but then it's like Mr. Undercooked, aka Dylan. I'm just like,
I mean,
It's because
like I
it's
just realized that like River at least like here's the thing. River can play his off as a true username. Nobody would if somebody said like if he said that River is not his real first name, people would believe him easily. So
I did not believe
mine.
him.
It's so like so even with his username, if it was just his username, he'd be fine. But with me, they got to be like, "Hey, yo, that's Dylan." I'm just like, okay, interesting. All right.
Hey, to be fair, my name is in my username, technically. So
technically, yeah, technically, I guess.
So real quick before we get started, I want to shout out friend of the show, the UAP Uncensored Anime Podcast, specifically Jerry. He sold me this Vash the Stampede pop, which looks hella good.
Wow.
I would say it's focusing. It looks it's backwards right now, but it's all right. Hey, it looks hella good.
No,
I think it's the original Vash. I believe this is
yeah,
not Vash.
that's not Stampede.
This is not Trigun Stampede Bash. This is original Trigun Bash, which is pretty cool. Shout out to Jerry, man. He's in the Dallas area, so it was pretty easy for him to deliver this to me. So, hey, Uncensored Anime Podcast, please come back. Friend of the show.
Shout out to the gang.
Good shout out.
Here's a clip of them yelling at each other during the flow.
There you go.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Shout out to them, man. Friend of the show, friend of the pod. But for this pod, we're actually going to be getting into some of the highest ranked and most popular anime this season. Or at least on a weekly basis, because specifically on the thing that I'm going to share that y'all are about to see in a minute that everyone's going off of, there are some continuings on here, like, you know, the fan favorite Frieren, some Apothecary Diaries love on here, some Undead Unluck continuation. But beyond that, it is just, what season are we in? Spring 2024?
Winter
2024. Yeah,
winter
all
2024.
All months are the same thing. But first things first.
Spring, guys.
I'm about to say, shit, in Texas. Well, actually not now. It's cold again. But anyway,
it's actually cold. Yeah.
Yeah, just cold front coming crazy. But what stands out to y'all looking at this list? Like it's ranked by an assortment of things. Of course, like Reddit activity, how many members it has on Mal, how many comments are about each anime each week. What stands out to y'all so far, just at a glance, looking at this?
Honestly, what stands out to me is the fact that Undead Unluck is not even cracking the top 10 with the amount of hype it got from the manga. I know it's technically a leftover from, fall of 2023, but it fell so hard from grace to me. I think this used to be like for sure top 10, like most talked about thing, and now no one like even cares. Yeah, that manga hype only took it so far.
I can see that. I know when the first part was airing, at least I didn't see as much hype for it as other things last season. I'm surprised that some of the anime over it though. I'm honestly surprised. Like Seventh Time Loop is over it.
I will say this though. I'm on the JoJo side of the internet, right? And JoJo's is animated by David Production, which is the animation studio of Undead Unluck. So from my side of Twitter, I saw a lot of Undead Unluck discourse, and literally everyone's saying the same thing on my side, where this is all over the place. They don't understand the hype, but the animation's good, and that's kind of it. So I'm honestly not. I'm surprised that it's not in the top 10, but I'm also not surprised at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, okay. I felt like the diehard fans would have like boosted it up a little bit, but it didn't. So,
Anything from Y'all too?
I
Hey,
did
are we
not see
looking at?
that. I just looked through the list again, and I'm noticing that the things that I'm watching are not on here. So
Oh shit, not at all.
there's
Damn.
two things. There's two things.
Oh well,
I was
they're
like,
on the
hey,
side though. They're on the side.
I was like the top two specifically. You've definitely been watching.
Yeah, I've
Dylan.
seen the top two, but not the other ones. That's
All
okay.
right.
Yeah, they have an
I mean-
extended list on the side. It goes down to 30. So.
I cannot read that
This
for
is
shit.
this is by most like this is the recent season,
Let me
right?
pull it up on my phone.
This is just shows that have come out this week. For real.
Solo
So
leveling
it
at, like,
includes
number
everything
2
from
is-
Frieren to Chain Soldier. Shout out to Chain Soldier. If you know Chain Soldier.
So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I dropped Frieren.
No
I was, like, I
way
think-
you said that, bro.
My bad. Whoa. Let me explain.
No
Let me explain.
That's
I dropped it.
wild.
I dropped it because it just wasn't my cup of tea. Like, that's just all it was. But considering that it's still in the number 1 spot, I might pick it up again. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I dropped it at the wrong spot before things started getting more interesting. But I'll give it a second chance and definitely look into it more.
I will say this: the past like 3 weeks of Frieren have been the most action packed that it's had. So maybe you'll like that part when you get to it.
Okay.
You did drop it before a certain character came in that completed the dynamic of the cast. So I mean, I think you should pick it up. That's just me. But
No, I mean,
hey,
for sure. Yeah, because you, Cardiac, uh, Dylan, River 2, all you guys would just keep saying Frieren, like, all the time, and I just didn't understand it. But considering your recommendations and nonstop talks about it, and now seeing it in a numbers aspect on the charts, I'll pick it up again. The reason why I didn't like pick it up right away when you guys were talking about it, it was just because, oh, we just have a different taste, blah blah blah. But numbers don't lie, and I'm a math guy, so
This
math
is a
telling me,
wide
yo,
margin.
you need to hop on this.
this is
Considering,
the biggest margin.
I did
Yeah,
not. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen this because I stay on anime Reddit. Like I'm just in different subreddits for like different anime, especially just r/anime, just looking at news or whatever. This is crazy in terms of just like the talk about Frieren compared to everything else.
yeah,
Everything.
I agree.
It's pretty insane.
Even if it just is on Reddit, like that's insane.
So there is one anime I want to talk about that I just saw that's down there in like number 29, Bucchigiri. Not talked about as much, and I'm a little surprised it's this low because for Dylan and Ichiban, this is Mappa doing an anime original, Bucchigiri. And to give you guys kind of an idea of what it is, all right? So, in my opinion, the best way to describe it is that if you take Baki, mix it with JoJo's Part 5, and have a sprinkle of Mob Psycho in there, that's Bucchigiri, in my opinion. That's the best way to describe it. It's about like the main story is really two gangs having a rival against each other, and the main character has to decide which gang he has to affiliate himself with. Which honestly, in hindsight, he didn't have to join either one, but that's kind of how it goes. And the dude is horny as hell. Which is why a lot of people kind of don't like him or like him a lot. You know, the dude thinks with his penis before his other head. So I don't know if that's anything you guys are interested in. It is wild. It's kind of like
Sounds
all over
relatable.
the place a little bit. It's yeah. If you guys know the like the vibe of like JoJo's and Baki, you know like how crazy it can get in those shows. That's Bucchigiri right there. Me personally, this is just me. My favorite show of the season, personally, but it's because I know my taste. I know what I like. I like shows like this. It is what it is. All right. But I wish it was higher because maybe Mappa lost some of its like hype, I don't know, but I thought a Mappa anime original would be higher on this list, at least to be talked about. But that's just me. I don't know what you guys think.
So here's the thing. I guess when it comes to Mappa, especially since I haven't seen this or anything like that, when it comes to like, I don't really pay attention to studios that much. I'm gonna be totally honest. Mappa is like the only like main studio name that I like know and am aware of being like a thing. But like other than that, I just watch the fucking show and I just that's that I'm realizing more and more that I have a very base level like understanding of anime because I do not fucking I don't know studios for shit. I know Mappa, that's it. But
Yeah.
I don't when it's like a oh my god, it's a Mappa original, I'm just like ah okay. An animation studio is animating something cool. I don't like it's like the hype isn't there for me or anything like that.
I mean,
That's just me, though.
but the fact, yeah, no, I understand, but the fact that you know Mappa, like, and that's like the only studio you know of, makes me kind of like, dang, Mappa really didn't put that much effort into hyping this anime up. I guess you could say, especially since right now it's like the most famous animation studio, I would say, at least.
Gotcha. Fair.
Yeah. Yo, Cardiac, how do you feel about Mappa kind of not putting that much hype into their anime original?
I think that Mappa understands that a lot of the hype that has come their way is as a result of the franchises that they have been able to get into and turn into an adaptation. Granted, they've been able to carve out their own style, and people know that Mappa is, a dominant name in the industry in terms of quality and expectation. But I think that specifically with them doing specifically an original and not just like a lesser known series, not only do they have the expectation of maybe people just won't care about it because it's not an adaptation, but uh, they might be saving those marketing dollars for just other projects. As we know, they pretty much went out of pocket to fund most of the Chainsaw Man production, a lot of it upfront from the company. Um, so they might just be not to say that they don't hope that this series does well and is profitable, but if I'm not mistaken, it's only their first or second original as well, so maybe they just don't you know don't have the greatest expectations of it, at least comparative to their other works.
Okay, that makes sense. To me, it's a fun watch though. So if you're into like Baki and JoJo's, definitely watch it.
Let me give it a chance.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised at Mashle at number 8. To be
Really?
honest. Yeah.
You're surprised that
Really?
you think it should be lower or higher?
I think it should be lower.
Mm.
Because
I didn't
like you think no one talks about it right now?
Everybody talks
It's
about
just-
the opening.
The opening's good.
The opening's
I like the
fire,
opening.
fire song, bro.
I mean, yeah, no, it's for sure. Like credit
season.
where it's due, but something about it because I've kept up with it. It's
Yeah.
just it's like I feel like it's repetitive. It's the same thing,
You think
kind of.
it's the same joke over and over again, pretty much?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to
It
pick
is.
up on that.
It is.
I'm gonna start to pick
I
up
mean,
on
it
that.
is.
And in the industry specifically, I think it's going to take the place of, like, honestly, and I might get some reactions from this, Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone over the past few years has been a series that has had its fan base. And I'm not even comparing like quality or like what they do specifically, but Dr. Stone is an animator where, like, when it comes out, it has its fan base. They're gonna ride for it. They're gonna cape for it. When you look at overall rankings, it's gonna be an 8. It's gonna be a high 7. It's gonna be or whatever. It's gonna be bubbling around the top 10 in shows that season or whatever. But if you don't watch it, you can low key just be a person who like, why the fuck is this here? Who cares about this?
Here's my thing
So.
with Dr. Stone and the Mashle comparison. I agree to a extent, but I will say this: what makes me want to continue Dr. Stone over Mashle is concept. And the concept of Dr. Stone is way more interesting than the concept of Mashle. I feel like I've seen a show similar to Mashle before. I mean, it gets compared to a couple of shows that you guys can look up, but Mashle, I mean, I dropped it during season 1. I just felt like I knew what it was going to be about, and I don't feel like going through that again. And it sounds like from what Ichiban's saying, yeah, pretty much the same thing over and over again, and not too much story progress. I could totally understand. I see that.
But some people like that too, and like, for me, I can get. I'm not mad or upset at it being at number 8. Like, I'm just surprised. I didn't think that. Well, actually, let me. How do I phrase this?
You didn't think there
It's
were
not that
enough
I don't
rivers
think
in the
it's-
world
Yeah.
that actually like this boof ass show.
This man,
You can be honest.
This man put Mashle as the funniest anime he saw last year. That is insane to me.
Who?
River said Mashle is the funniest anime he saw last year, and I'm like,
River's
you don't
also
watch-
dead
Nah,
inside.
that's crazy.
But
You
what's a
don't watch
guide to
funny
a
shows,
non-believer?
River is also a dead inside vampire. That is River. So he doesn't
Oh,
really.
Dang. Let's keep talking shit
Check out
about
the
River, bro.
Patreon. Check out the Patreon for more of this.
Yeah.
Bro.
No, okay, all right, but let me finish real quick. So it's like, again, I'm just surprised that it's up there, because like when I see all these other titles compared to Mashle, I'm like, you're right, Cardiac. I'm like, how are you at number 8? Like damn.
I think it's also just because Mashle had a huge fan base while it was just a manga, and maybe it could just be like the manga fans kind of just along for the ride, even though it's like, bro, it's like the same shit over and over again. I don't know. That might be the only reason why it's in the top 10. You know what I mean? Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even speaking on that manga fan base, of course, you know, it has its dedicated fans, but a lot of that has just been weekly Shonen Jump readers looking for a new series to champion.
That's true.
And for a minute, Mashle was the only one that was surviving. A lot of them were getting axed, a lot of them were getting canceled, and it was looking like Mashle was going to be the only thing from that post JJK, but pre, like, I guess, Sakamoto days that was like going to survive and potentially get big. But even then, manga wise, it got passed up by multiple new series. It's last year in serialization, and of course, manga's just over now. So it's.
I want to ask that. Oh, my bad.
Oh no, I'm just saying, whatever it is right now, expect this to be the same fan base until the series finishes.
Yeah.
I just
wanna know-
recognized, my bad, Archie. I'm just gonna say this super fast. I just recognized 3 more anime on the right side column now that I looked at it on my phone and finally recognized them, because I couldn't see it on my computer. It was bad resolution. So there are a few more things I can talk about.
Oh yeah,
Continue,
no,
Archie.
you're good. Yeah. I want to. Have you guys heard of this anime that's in the 14 slot? It's some type of fantasy anime.
You said
I don't
4?
know if 14.
Oh,
That
14.
fantasy anime.
I've heard of it. I don't know if I've I don't know, and I think I've maybe seen clips. It pops up obviously on my fucking Crunchyroll like main screen. Like you'll see it every once in a while. It seems like something I'd like, but I just obviously haven't gotten around to it.
I've not heard of
Yeah.
it, actually.
Fantasy.
Yeah, I'm only asking because after I've been kind of in a fantasy mood since I'm watching like things like Frieren,
Mm-hmm.
and I dropped Delicious in Dungeon, which we could talk about later. And I'm kind of like looking for the next, like, man, kind of want to check out some more fantasy stuff. And I didn't know if any of you guys have seen this, because it looks like one of those fantasies that might be a little generic, but it could also be a hidden gem. I don't know. So I was just wondering if you guys have heard of it.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. All right,
Yeah, no,
Dylan.
haven't
I want you.
looked into it.
All right, Dylan. I want you to sell me on Hokkaido Girls or whatever this
Okay.
thing is.
Okay, this is gonna be tough. All right. This is going to be really tough, but I feel like I might be able to make this work. All right. Same. It's got a very similar concept to if you liked My Dress Up Darling, there's a solid chance you're going to like a show like this. It's a very similar concept to My Dress Up Darling, where it's a fucking nerdy ass fucking geek fucking boy from Tokyo that just moved out into the fucking like sticks essentially. And that's like the whole, and like it's like winter at this time, so it's freezing cold out where he moved out or fucking whatever. But essentially, like the first person he meets in this new town that he just moved to, because he still lives with his grandma. His grandma just moved out there or something like that, right? But this first person he meets is like the most attractive woman he's ever fucking seen, essentially. And yeah, it's how do I put this? It's very childish. That's what I'll say. Like they do not. In My Dress Up Darling is like a mature version of this show, or I guess this show is an immature version of My Dress Up Darling. That's essentially what it is, dude. Like here's what I will say.
Is this a romance anime?
Yes, ish, kind of slice of life ish. Yeah, it's
Ish?
very.
Wait.
It's like a
Okay.
mix between both. It's hard to say, bro. I just been watching it and I like it because I will say why I like it. First off, I'll say what I enjoy when I watch it, right? So it has got very like cringeworthy humor and moments. Like the stuff like you will like cringe when you watch it, but for me it's to the point where all it does is like they'll have a cringe moment and they'll space it out long enough to where I'm still like smiling from the last moment, and then they'll have like a little bit where it's not cringe and it's just normal and shit like that, and there's maybe like a little fucking because right now it's like the way they dumbed it down to is essentially like two girls both have feelings for this guy now, but they're both friends with him and they're both friends of each other, and so it's like a weird situation that everything's in right now, and so it does have like a layer of complexity, but like the whole thing is super immature, bro. Like they make such blatant sexual innuendos like throughout the entirety of the show, bro. It is so fucking funny, bro. Like there is one I will cite the source, bro. There was an episode where they fell into it, like they not fell, but the girl went into this like snow hut that a kid made, right? And then she pulled the dude in, right? And he fell on top of her, right? Nothing, and I will clarify, nothing ends up happening. Right. But they kept talking and describing the experience of being in the igloo as like, and they made it super sexual. And it was just like, bro, why? Why'd you do this? It was like you will cringe when you watch it. But for me, I cringed just enough to laugh and get over it and then move on. That's for me. That's essentially it. It hits right where, like, if there was any more cringe in the show, I wouldn't be able to watch it. That's what I would say. If they put any more cringe, like, or any worse, like, cringy moments in the show, like, they time it well. Because if they did it too often, I wouldn't watch it. But they will, they'll make it cringy out of nowhere, and you'll be like, fuck. But, like, that's just kind of what the show is, in my opinion.
I'm not gonna lie. At the very least, Dylan, you're gonna make me look up this scene at the very least.
Dude, it's so bad. Dude, it is so bad, bro. Because the worst part is that the whole thing is that once they get out of it, bro, his grandma's right there.
Why grandma,
bro? And like his grandma heard everything they said, bro, and she's standing there like, what were you doing? Dude, it was fucking great, bro.
No, grandma's
it was
crazy.
fucking bro. They did it to grandma, bro. Oh my god.
Crazy. All right.
It was good though. But yeah, that's all. It's if you can withstand cringe and you're looking for like an immature version of My Dress Up Darling, that's it. There you go.
From what I understand, My Dress Up Darling is what's that term? Archie, you use it a lot.
Adjacent.
Ecchi.
Oh, Jesus.
Is it ecchi, right? Is that the term?
I know what you're talking about.
I mean, I don't use ecchi that often, but yeah, I think there's some ecchi in My Dress Up Darling.
What is that supposed to mean? I'm blanking on these terms.
I don't know if I'm saying it right. Never mind. Well, there's just a lot of scenes.
Yeah, ecchi is like what is it? Basically, horny scenes.
But no nudity.
But yeah, but it doesn't go all the way. Yeah, it doesn't go all the way.
There's a few of those. There's a few. That's not the whole show, though. That's what I'll say.
That is definitely not the vibe that I got from looking at Hokkaido Girls. It's not.
Watch it.
Yeah, but when he said it's a cross
watch
between,
it.
that's why when he said it's a cross between My Dress Up Darlings and what was the other one?
I didn't say. I don't think I said it was cross. I just
Yeah, I
said it
think
was
it
a
was
more
just My Dress
immature
Up Darling.
version.
Oh yeah. That's why I was like, okay, all right.
It's like, yeah, bro.
One of
Oh my
those.
gosh. I'm telling you, if I put the fucking clip in there, it would, dude. Here's what I'll say: if I look up Hokkaido gal's igloo scene, I feel like there's a solid chance I'm gonna get put on a list. That's all.
Oh my
That's
gosh, bro, that's
That's it.
crazy.
Whoa.
That's
That is
it.
crazy.
That's
What is
it.
wrong with you?
That's
I just
crazy
feel that
work.
it's the scene that made me feel the most uncomfortable in the entire show so far. That's what I'll say.
And you
to
were gonna have
willingly-
Archie look it up?
willingly going to like watch it and be like, I want to rewatch that scene is like,
You
interesting.
you were
Why?
gonna let Archie look it up?
Oh yeah, he's gonna have to see it now.
Alright,
He really wants
well-
to see it now. I can tell.
Well, let me at least like put incognito and judge for myself.
Yeah.
Like, is it that
Yeah.
bad? Like,
This man.
It is like I said. It has made me feel the most uncomfortable watching the show. That
This
is the
man
moment
about to
that
put
I have
some
disliked the
onion-
most.
Some
But at the same
layers
time,
on
like
his
I said, they gave a decent amount of space of not of comfortable normal shit after that. They didn't fucking make you cringe more and make you more uncomfortable. Are you watching it right now, Archie?
no.
Oh,
I'm gonna
bummer.
wait till
Okay.
I'm gonna wait till after. I don't want an accidental like sound to come out of the
Shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna-
All right.
I'm gonna look it up later. Actually, I know for a fact Cardiac wants to go on his he definitely wants to go into his bag when we talk about Delicious in Dungeon, because we definitely had a conversation about this. We know a couple people that are watching this, and like earlier from what I said, I dropped it, so that shows you how much I liked it. Cardiac.
Cardiac is busy. He don't give two fucks about you, bro.
My fault. That was
Damn.
I had
Be
to tell
disrespected,
somebody-
Archie.
I had to tell somebody something. Repeat.
Understandable.
Okay. You wanted to get in your bag, you know. I get that.
You gotta tell his girls, his hoes, not right
Must be
now.
done.
It is quite
Just
not.
outside.
It is not that at all. But
Dude,
what's going
why
on?
are you trying to hide that you're a ladies' man, bro? Like,
I'm
we all
not.
know
There's
it.
Yeah,
not.
well, what is up
Yes.
with that? What is up with that?
What do you mean?
Nothing.
You're
It's-
just a ladies' man. I can tell. Look at him.
I literally can't be.
Look
My
at this
bed is not
handsome young
made.
gentleman.
My bed is not made. I got these hats all on it. There's nothing going on here, bro.
You see, but see, those are two clues right there. His bed is not made. I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Two, his hats. They're not even his hats. He's starting a collection.
There you go.
Think a woman is repping the Houston Rockets, nigga? That's what you think? That's what you think?
I mean, they, James Harden spent a lot of money down there. I'm sure they just like.
Oh my god.
You got some.
They wouldn't follow that
Jordans
nigga.
down.
They wouldn't follow him. They know he got the money.
Oh man. All right. Anyways, Delicious in Dungeon, Cardiac. Remember, we talked about this. Did you continue Delicious in Dungeon, or did you already drop it?
I didn't start it.
You didn't start. Wait, how do you have that opinion?
What opinion?
He told me. Okay, so guys, this is what Cardiac told me in the messages. He was like,
Ooh,
"Yo,
in the
I have an
DMs.
opinion about Delicious in Dungeon, and I think it's bad. I think it's trash."
Is that what I said?
And
When
you were
did
like-
I say this? What did I say?
No, that's what you. That is definitely what you said. And what is it? No, I originally said I think it's mid, and then I was like, "Nah, Cardiac. I think it's trash, just like you said."
Oh, I was talking about the season.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay.
I no, I have not seen Delicious in Dungeon. No.
Well, don't, because it's trash. All
Yeah,
right,
no,
I'm
I was
go there.
asking you how you thought about it, so I could get confirmation on whether there were enough good shows this season to just say that the whole season's bad.
I mean, if I could step in and say that I liked it, I guess.
I mean, no, Ichiban. You know what it is? You're not the only one that thinks it's good, but I think it's bad.
It's
I
just
don't know.
not enough of
Like-
you.
like,
It's not enough.
I think it's just. I think it's terrible.
it's not bad. It's not that good. It's just, you want to chill, watch Delicious Dungeon. Not
I heard
necessarily.
I heard what is it? I heard from manga readers that it gets better because you start getting to backstories of the characters. But the thing is, as of right now, like I'm 5 episodes in, I don't give a fuck about any of these characters, and they're not even that like entertaining to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're not funny to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm just like, why am I watching this? And on top of that, I can't make any of the food that they're making because they're freaking monsters. So
Yeah.
what's the point of me watching a cooking show that's not even that funny with characters I don't care about? Like, what is up with that? Like, what is this? Like,
It's
I don't
it's
know,
the
man.
concept. The concept. I mean, they're
That's the
cooking.
only reason. That's the only reason why I even stayed around for so long is because the concept sounded cool. But now it's like when they execute it, it's like what is this?
No,
And
I
it's
do.
it, and I will say this: it's the people's rankings on these, like the scores that they give, it's below Mashle. So that's how I know it's gonna be bad. Like what?
Is it?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
the Mao
it's
rating.
rated as 7.72, and Mashle season 2 is ranked at a 8.12.
Damn.
Yeah, a
Well,
trigger anime.
I do agree with you.
So
I do agree with you in one aspect that they uh need to go more into the backstories a little bit more, just to kind of
mhm.
just so you can build that connection with each character. Because right now they don't really have the most is from episode one. Like
That's
that
it.
was it.
That's
You just
literally
know
it.
that the fucking dude's sister is in a dragon's stomach right now, and they're trying to go save her.
Yeah,
That's really all you know. You know they each have their own specialties, and
and they're broke.
yeah,
That's
and
it.
they're they're broke and they're always hungry. Like I find myself that whenever if I'm not trying to like indulge in anything in any like show that's heavy on details or you got to pay attention to certain cues or certain instances between whatever interactions characters have. Like, for example, Classroom of the Elite. Like everything that happens is for a reason. That's you kind of have to pay attention. Otherwise, oh shit, I missed when they gave that girl a pen and that resembled like some huge plot. Like, no, Delicious in Dungeon is just like, I just feel like putting something on, seeing some cool animated food that I've never or will ever have in my life because everything is made from a monster. Um, and the concept is cool. They're making food out of monsters. I don't know if I mean I'm not too familiar with like anime like that, where like they're cooking monsters. I
I
was
mean, it's the main concept of Toriko, which is like a really huge shonen jump manga back in the day.
oh okay.
But
Well,
I will say this though. I tried doing what you did. Like I understood like after the first 2 episodes, I was like, all right, this is just gonna be an anime where I put in the background. I'm not gonna pay attention too hard to it. I'm just gonna let it be. I switch it on to dub. I'm like, all right, well, let me just let it be. I couldn't even do that. Like to me, it wasn't even like a relaxing anime to like just have in the background. That's how much I just dislike what it's doing. Like I just don't care. It's not giving me anything to care about. Like at least to me, all I care about is like, dang, are they gonna save the sister or what? That's it. And like they don't even mention her that much. Like during like episode 3 to 5, and I'm like, okay,
they mentioned her
it's not for
this
me.
past episode, the most recent
Episode
one.
6. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
they mentioned her a
I guess
lot.
I need. I guess I needed to wait till episode 6 then. I don't know, but
But it's not
it's
like I can already tell that you're still not going to be interested because it's not in the way that I know it would catch your attention. It's just more like they actually just talk about her view. Well, they do show some scenes of like flashbacks of her, but it's not in the way that I know would grasp your attention or get you invested. It's just more like,
yeah.
oh, she taught us this concept, and it's not really anything juicy or something to grab to. It's just they just kind of threw it out there.
Yeah, like I guess like an anime that I would have like in the background would be like Spy Family. I'd be like, I could have this in the background. I could switch it on to dub, and it'd be just like at least like good vibes, and the characters are likable. So I could just have it on the background and just be chilling. But with this anime, Dungeon or Delicious in Dungeon has none of that. No good vibes to me. Characters are unlikable or bland. I don't even know some of the characters. Like I don't even know like who the fuck is this bearded guy? Who the fuck is this troll? Like who is this guy?
He's
He
a
just
dwarf.
cooks. He just cooks, bro. I don't even know what classification he is. Some type of troll dwarf. I don't care, bro. Like this. Like I don't even know this guy.
Oh my
like what?
god.
Like
Oh my god, Archie. Is
there's
this some
nothing
like
for me. There's nothing
is-
for me.
I feel like this is coming from somewhere else. Like do you know
Dang.
someone you don't like that likes this anime or like what's happening?
Yeah,
Yeah,
RJ
I know it's
No,
not good. It's not that bad though. Jesus. Like you're just shitting on it at this point.
fucking RJ, bro. Fuck that. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. I love you. I love you, RJ. But you like some trash ass anime, and the fact
Holy
that you like
shit.
Rent a Girlfriend makes it even worse.
Oh my god.
Archie's at peace, man. I mean RJ. I don't know why I say y'all's names interchangeably. RJ and Archie. I don't know why. But RJ's at peace, bruh. He just watches shit. It's that director.
I just
brain.
like
They're horrible.
I just like shitting on what he likes because I question sometimes, like, because I respect his opinion on so many things, and then when I see something like this, I'm like, yo, Delicious in Dungeon is like one of the best anime this season. I'm like, you're trash. Like,
He said
what the fuck
that?
is this? Like, what the fuck is this, bro?
He said that?
Like,
oh,
he's also
no.
he's also a Trigger fanboy. So I'm like,
He
you're
does
not
love
even a
Trigger.
credible source, bro. You have love for mediocrity. Like that's what I tell. I'm like, bro,
Oh,
like,
shit.
come on, man. Like,
Chill on
it's not.
Kill a Kill.
Nah, it's super mediocre. You had to be there when it first came out. That shit was so like people were shitting on it, but the discourse kind of switched onto it like more recently, which is kind of crazy to me. But nah, when it was when Trigger first started, people were shitting on Trigger.
Some shit's better in
Me,
retrospect.
I'm still
man.
me. I'm still shitting on it, but that's just me though. Anyways, I don't know if anyone else had something to talk about. I'm done with.
I'm
done with
surprised.
Dungeon.
I'm surprised that Metallic Rogue, right? No, it's not Rouge.
Metallic Rouge.
Oh, it is
Metallic
Rouge. I know that's the character's name. I know if it was the same.
You're surprised it's that low?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's that low. Not gonna lie.
I'm not.
It has
It's like
it has all the makings to be like a sleeper show that like people are just like watching to check out, and then like it's like a low key banger.
But here's my thing, right? I'm also watching Metallic Rouge. It's the sci-fi anime of the season.
Yeah,
In my opinion, there is so much good with Metallic Rouge, but they tell the story in the most backwards way possible.
so
Like-
we
like
keep
it's-
having this conversation as to whether it's confusing or not, and I swear it's confusing as fuck.
No, I got more confused last episode. I was
Okay,
like, what
thank
the
you,
fuck?
because they
Like-
just got
like-
bruh, they just got back, bruh.
So I look, okay,
Oh my
I know Cardiac doesn't like it when you like explain too much, but
This one,
it would have been nice
This
to
one
have
needs
some
it.
type of explanation. It needs some like he's like, bro, I hate it when anime like explains too much. Like it's better to show than tell all the time. So, but sometimes I need
yeah.
things to tell me what's going on, bro.
This-
what the fuck
This anime is
happening sometimes
the
in this
anime
show?
equivalent of like Tenet. If y'all have seen Tenet,
Here's my thing with
Tenet's a
Metallic
good
Rouge,
movie.
right?
you said it's an average movie.
Tenet's a good movie. I like Tenet.
It could be a cool movie, but like it explains nothing.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like
Yeah,
things
like,
just
okay.
happen.
Very true. I watched it twice and I'm just like, nope.
This is how I like describing what Metallic Rouge is. Like imagine like a darker cyberpunk, but without too much but you don't know anything about it.
None of
Like,
the
what-
lore
what's
about the
happening?
companies are explained. None of the backstories behind Edge running is really explained. Like none of that is detailed. at all.
At least with Cyberpunk, you kind of had like in the first 2 episodes, you had an idea of the type of world and the type of characters you're going to be dealing with and why they're doing what they're doing. In Metallic Rouge, I didn't know shit about the characters till episode 4. it was like mad confusing. And in episode 5, it's like they took everything I just found out about these characters and we're like, all right, I'm gonna get you guys all confused again and put on this weird ass setting that you guys don't know how we got here. And I'm like, all right, what the fuck's happening? And I usually like anime like Metallic Rouge. I like the sci-fi aspect, the dark like underground of like, oh, we gotta humans versus robots type shit.
Yeah.
But like the way they're explaining it is like, I don't know what's happening, yo. What is happening? Like, what is actually happening? Like, I don't even know what they're fighting for anymore. Like,
oh, I didn't know that from the start. I'm not gonna lie. Aside from like that first fight between Red and her, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. You couldn't
Yeah.
pay me to figure that shit out. But I don't think that's what's stopping its popularity though, because people have watched more confusing stuff that also doesn't explain itself. So I don't know. I just kind of expect it to be a little bit higher, maybe closer to Classroom of the Elite, but maybe I'm underrating the fan base of Classroom of the Elite. Shout out Ichima.
Leslie.
Yeah, you are.
Dylan or Ichiban, is there a show you guys want to talk about?
Is there a show I want to talk about, like on the list?
Or that's just
or honestly, or whatever you're watching right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw. I didn't know Ragna Crimson was counted in this. First of all,
I think it's still going.
Okay, that's okay.
Is it?
So
Oh, shit.
I that's the thing, because I thought I caught up on it, but I guess it's like, because that's where I was confused. I thought I caught up on it, but I guess maybe not. But I think that show does not get as much recognition as it should, because I think that's a fire ass show, in my opinion. When I was watching it, I was in that shit, bro. That was I loved that. I love Ragna Crimson. That was like some, in my opinion, some minus the video game stuff, some Shield Hero-esque shit. Like it was good. But
You're talking about season 1 Shield Hero, right?
Yes, yeah. We don't talk. No, there is no season 2. There's a 1 and a 3. There's a 1 and a 3 of Shield Hero. There's not a season 2.
Wait.
I don't know where it is, but it got lost in recording, translation, whatever it is. But there's not a season 2.
I got the Promised Neverland treatment. Love to see it.
It's always been special. And it's always been a 1 and a 1 and a 3. That's all. Don't worry.
So Dylan, I just looked it up. Magna Crimson is scheduled for 24 episodes. So I don't know what episode you stopped at.
Yeah, it's going to be airing until the end of March.
I'll have to check into it again then.
I like.
Yeah, no, that one, and then the one that I started looking into because I saw a fucking clip on TikTok was the My Instant Death ability. That one is interesting. I didn't watch it long enough to really like get into it type shit, but it's an interesting concept where it's just like a school bus of kids essentially. Like I don't even know how to fucking explain it, honestly. It's like a school bus of kids essentially gets isekai'd. Like a whole school bus of kids gets isekai'd, right? And then they're all tested for their magical capabilities on the fucking bus. And all of them, but I think 3. I think maybe it's either 3 or 4. All of them, but 3 or 4 have magic, and the other 3 or 4 don't register, right? And so immediately they're left behind the bus. Everybody leaves, and a dragon shows up, immediately kills 2 of them. Leaving two left. It was the main character and another girl, right? Shocker. But main character's abilities essentially is once everything fucking like the dragon's fucking him up or whatever, and then all of a sudden he's like, this can't go on any longer. And then he looks at it, there's a little effect, and then it dies, right? It just fucking collapses and dies. And you're just like, it died. And then these 3 dudes come back to the bus to check on These 3 dudes come back to the bus to check and see and be like, to make sure that they died, right? And they come back and they saw that 2 of them didn't die. And they were like, but it was just these bunch of assholes, right? And the fucking 3 dudes start talking some wild ass shit, bro. Like skip ahead like 30 seconds if you don't want to hear some disturbing ass shit. They were talking weird shit. So skip ahead 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. But essentially what they were doing is they were talking about how once the girl had died, they wanted to. One of them was a necromancer, and they wanted to bring
Oh
her back.
no!
They wanted to
I
dig.
know.
You
I know.
already know exactly
Oh
what
my
the dude.
gosh.
That was fuck shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But luckily, they threatened that shit, and they start talking about it, and then the dude's just like, nah, that ain't cool. And then he just looks at them and he kills them, and that's that.
Oh
And then
my
and then that's where I left
dude.
off. I was kind of just like, okay,
Holy shit.
interesting.
Oh, that is-
Holy
What a
shit.
statement! What a
This
statement!
is a show.
No, what a statement indeed.
This is definitely a show. I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm surprised because that shit's above Ragna Crimson. That's wild. Like that alone is wild. That above Ragna Crimson irks my soul, bro.
The people love
Like,
it,
wow.
man. The people.
I
Hey,
guess, bro.
I guess
That's-
people
'cause
like
here's-
it. I don't know.
there's some different shit, bro. Because there's like One Punch Man, right, where his whole thing's the indestructible one punch. Okay, that's cool. That's a whole thing. Whatever.
No, you gotta
And then
say it
there's
like the
There's
intro.
There's
One
OP main
punch.
character. One punch.
Yeah.
Okay. There's the fucking there's other MCs that are super overpowered and shit like that are just like, oh, that's cool. Like they're strong, but like they have weaknesses and shit like that. Bro, all this dude does is look at people and they die. He goes,
No, that's crazy.
Oh,
there's
wait,
like
is
a
it?
purple pulse.
Oh,
and they
shit.
die.
I need to watch that one. Not because of what you said, but
Yeah,
I think I know
get
what
you.
TikTok you're talking about.
Yep.
'Cause I think I've seen it.
Yep. You
I
probably
do not.
did. But yeah,
I
it
have
was
not
like
seen
that's
that TikTok
literally what
thing.
he does. He literally looks at them, and there's
Is
like a
that
little.
is that the
purple,
one where he
there's
goes
a little
like where he goes
purple
like bang? Is that one? No,
Mm,
Are you talking
maybe.
about the
he might
one
have done
who's-
that for? He might have.
Do you like One Piece?
Oh my gosh! Shut up, Cardiac, bro.
I love that panel.
That
man.
clip is wild.
I mean,
I never
I've
saw
seen
that
the panel
anime, but
and the
that
clip.
clip is fucking funny. That clip is fucking funny.
Do you read One
Do you
Piece?
like One Piece?
What?
Who's your favorite character?
I think she says like Zoro.
I do know what clip.
He's
Yeah,
like
I'm
Zoro.
pretty sure she says Zoro.
Zoro.
Yeah.
I love
I-
Zoro.
I-
And then he fucking
And he
doesn't he
says that
murk her
after-
after that though?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think
so.
he's just like
After-
bang.
Yeah, this dude just like murdered her whole family and like that.
Great
and I'm
clip.
like, what
That's
the
hilarious.
hell?
That is a One Piece fan for you,
That's
bro.
that's the humor that I know this is a callback, and I know the show's over. That's the type of humor that Under Ninja was trying to do. That shit was so ass.
But
It
did not work.
stick the
Did
landing
not
in
work.
a single episode. Oh my god!
But yeah,
bro.
They're all-
those are the only ones that I really felt like speaking on. Honestly,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna.
Well, there-
I'm actively watching the Hokkaido Gals episode right now since y'all were talking about shit that I couldn't speak on for a little while. So I
Sure.
took that time. I was like, I got some time.
Get deeper.
Let's
yeah.
Okay, so there are like two anime I do want to get into. One of
Okay.
them I don't think any of you guys have seen, which is A Sign of Affection. Has anyone seen that yet?
No, but you keep talking about it.
Yes, because A Sign of Affection I think is a really good anime.
Pretty good.
I think it does a good job of like, dealing with language barriers and how like a disability could hinder you, but it doesn't make you not be able to experience certain things.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think
you're still
it's
capable of
surprisingly
experiencing
nuanced.
things.
With how
Is
it's
it like
Yeah.
is it like
Yeah, it is.
is it like your typical like so I'll ask if it's a sophisticated romance anime. When I say by that is the stuff that I watch, the romance anime I watch is not sophisticated at all. Like it is very like the tone is very immature and that's just like how the whole show is. But I know there are romances that have a very like serious tone if done well. Like less of a I know it's not really a romance and it's not a show, but like you say A Sign of Affection, I think A Silent Voice immediately. And because of the titles and stuff like that, that's what I think. But also, A Silent Voice, in my opinion, has romance. Like the whole thing is a concept. Like it is very. It's not the focus of it, but it's a heavily implied theme of the romance between the two. Like
So they both have deaf people in it. They
exactly.
both
That's
have
what
deaf
I'm
girls
saying.
in it.
Yeah.
But I will say this is more of a romance than a silent voice for sure. So
Okay.
I don't know if you're gonna like that.
The reason, what I'm saying is the reason I bring up silent voice is does it have the same tone? Because a silent voice did not have a very childlike tone to it. Like in my opinion, that was a very like heavy like.
It's
like,
not as heavy. It's not as heavy.
It's not as heavy.
But it's more
Yeah,
focused on the romance itself. The reason why a silent voice is as heavy is because it's focused on things aside from the romance.
Yeah.
For a majority of the runtime. But this is very much romance first, romance second, romance third, and she's also deaf. That's what this anime.
Yeah. It's literally like romance and deaf, and that's what they focus on is romance and deaf. But I will say it is like on the more mature side. They are college students, by the way. They're college students, and so it's adults dealing with stuff.
Yeah, it's just a real romance. Like I don't know if I would say mature. I don't know if I would say heavy. I don't know if I would say it's a real romance.
When y'all watch Hokkaido Gals, y'all will understand why I specify sophisticated or mature, because Hokkaido Gals is the furthest thing from that.
I'll let you know how I feel when I watch that scene.
Please do, Archie.
But anyways, I think A Sign of Affection is I'm surprised at how low it is. It's number 15 in terms of like how much it's been talked about. Because I feel like around my circles, it's talked about a lot, but I guess like not a lot of people are really talking about it. I'm not sure why.
Because it's a shoujo.
I don't know if it's the concept. Is it's just a shoujo? That's it.
To be honest, that's why I think that a lot of people get turned off. A lot of men on the internet who watch anime get turned off when they look at a romance show, and they first off they see that it does not portray horniness at all. Second, they see that it is like very bright, very colorful, color palette leaning towards pink or yellow or whatever, and the main character is female. I think that tanks a lot of shoujo. I think that tanks a lot of female-centered romance anime. And also, this list, like I led with, this is curated off of mostly comments and traffic off of r/Reddit. So that might be different from how many members it has on Mal, how popular it actually is, etc. So don't take this.
I mean, look at the score. It's one of the highest scores on here at 8.28.
Yeah.
So it's the people who watch it like it a lot.
For sure.
So definitely keep that in mind.
I think that puts it at second in the season, right? Only behind Solo Leveling, which we can argue about whether that's deserved or not.
For this season, yeah, sure. I would say so, I guess. But I think A Sign of Affection deserves all the praise it gets. It definitely does most things well, and when I say most things, I don't like little things, like little aspects of it. But other than that, I'm like, it does pretty much the main things you would want in a romance, specifically like a more adult-ish romance, pretty well, I would say. Likable characters. I will say this: the freaking I don't like the discourse around the best friend. For you guys that don't know, there's a childhood friend character in this show who people say, oh, he's like so toxic. He's like such a he embodies toxic masculinity or whatever.
What?
But literally that's the discourse around it, and literally all he is an overprotective friend who is looking out for her because she has a disability and doesn't want people to take advantage of her. And that's literally it. A lot of people who are saying that are projecting too much. Just because you dealt with toxic men doesn't mean he's a toxic man. That's all I'm saying. But he's just an overprotective friend who knows how to communicate with her through sign language. Like, he knows sign language.
He knows her.
And if you guys watch this past episode, he knows her mom. Like, literally, like, they're like, he just knows her.
Because they fucked.
So of course he's gonna.
Was it that?
Not him and the girl, him and the mom.
Jesus.
I mean, I don't know about that, but
watch the next episode, man.
Actually, Archie, this is for Sign of Affection, right?
Yes.
So I haven't seen it, but I have heard about that Discord too, like about everything you just said about the people saying that he's toxic masculinity, and I can agree as well. I'm like
he's just a dude.
Based off of what I read, and I read both sides. I haven't seen the anime, But based off of what I read from what everyone was saying in the comments section of I think of that post, whatever post it was, but it was of the anime.
Yeah.
I was like, huh, doesn't really seem that
It's not.
bad.
It's not.
It's not. Well, I will say this though. This past episode, I don't think he's toxic at all, but I do think he's a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. I do think he does have like kind of weird guy tendencies, but other than he's not toxic at all. He's just an overprotective friend, like I've been saying. Like,
Yeah,
is what it is.
it is. It is.
Like people are going so far as to saying he's possessive. I'm like, possessive of what?
What?
He-
If you were
Like, he
possessive,
barely
then people don't know what that means. But
yeah, people are. I'm sorry you got possessed, but this is not what that
Oh
is.
my
Like,
God.
I don't know what to tell you.
it's people that are
Um,
internet stricken
Get
or
Get yourself some crystals.
trauma stricken. But
Yeah, like people want to
Trolling
project their
through
own
the
trauma
trolling.
into all this shit when it's not what it is. Like
mm,
it, I don't know. That's just me. Anyways, well, we can go into solo leveling since we're all watching it.
Yes.
Oh my God,
And
Ichiban.
I will say this. After this past
Oh, I wasn't
episode
muted.
is when it goes downhill for me, and then it goes back up at a certain point.
Really?
But yeah, this past episode is like the last of the good episodes or the last of the good chapters to me of solo leveling until a certain point. Like it gets super boring. Like after this, like, he's gonna he's gonna overpower everything. Oh, all he has to do is train with the system. Oh, like there's no tension. He's just gonna survive whatever. Like I'm telling you, no, right now he has like there's no like tension. Like there's gonna be no like hardships
because he's
Point on.
leveling up, Marchie.
And that's the
Exactly.
Point.
Oh
That's
my
the
God.
point.
He's leveling
Like,
up.
you can't tell me that in every anime you ever watched, besides like a Kame ga Kill, every main character in the show that you watch is gonna be alive. Like they're not gonna die. Like for
No,
the
but I
most
want-
part,
I
there
want
are
them
very
to-
rare exceptions. It's
You're-
not gonna.
you're
But
not
I-
no matter what.
Dylan, Dylan,
no
no,
matter
no,
what.
no, no.
No matter what. You know,
not
like
supp-
there's
you're not
no
supposed
I
to
know,
take it
but
obvious.
but
There's
you're
no
not,
way.
you're not supposed to die. But what I'm saying is, I want this guy to at least face some type of like
Struggle,
hardships,
yeah.
and some type of like.
I mean, what
an
he went
obstacle
through in
to
the
climb.
beginning was pretty fucked up. I think that's
but if
enough
it
for
only
a little
happens,
bit.
Dylan,
if it only
Dylan,
happens
I
at
think
one point in the
that's enough
story,
for a
then
little bit.
nah.
Yeah, it only happens at that part
At
of the
least
story.
for
It doesn't
now.
happen at all. No, it
Oh my
doesn't. I'm
God.
telling you right. As a guy who read it, it doesn't. It doesn't.
But that's your cup of tea. Like you like overpowered protagonists, which is fine.
I do, so that's why I don't care that much.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah,
but
that's
you can still acknowledge the fact that like them in some of those series that you do like, and potentially in a solo leveling, which I guess we could go to Ichiban as well because he's also read part of it, if not all of it, I think, or caught up. But there's a difference between like, okay, knowing that the MC is gonna be the MC for the entirety of the series. Duh, the story's about him. There's a difference between a character even being overpowered, and there's another difference between that and a character just like having zero tension in the story. Like there's a difference between how Naruto's fights are written, how Deku's fights are written, and how this guy's fights are written in solo leveling, or at least for the foreseeable future. Like there's still tension, even though Deku has the most powerful quirk in the entire verse. Even though Naruto has a tail beast, you still feel tension. You still feel like, oh shit, maybe he can lose this. He might not die, but maybe he can lose it. But if all of your fights are literally just I get punched once and then just like no diff the opponent, I mean it takes tension.
Yeah, and like the only way, like for me at least, for me to be entertained by a character like this is if you One Punch Man it, where it's all comedy, and this dude still gets like just like overshadowed at the end because the freaking audience like in his world like don't see what he's doing and they give the credit to some other dude who has no powers.
Yeah,
Like that's it. Like it would have to be like a comedy for me to like these type of characters,
or just do
But,
other
you know,
things. Like if I don't know, I expected them to do more into the romance.
All right, I've built my defense, or at least a fence, something to hold back the Archie comments a little bit. Because you read it, right?
I read all of part 1 and a little bit of part 2.
Oh, it's split into
I don't know
parts.
by parts. I just read it like
No.
Episode
So
one.
by parts, I mean like they took a break. Like, well, in the solo leveling community, they actually do separate it into parts. All right.
Oh
So
shit.
Damn, Ichiban not tapped in?
solo. Yeah, he's not tapped in, but
Is he a
in
fake
part,
fan?
so kind
You
of,
can't say
but
that. You can't say
what is it? He what is it? So in solo leveling, they part 1 is everything that happened before they took a pause. There's a huge pause in between part 1 and 2.
Pause.
Like they took a break, and then yes, like Drake pause.
So
You know, if you've seen it, you've
so
seen it. But then part 2 is what happened after the break that they took, and that's considered part 2.
okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's cause all right. It's just cause like I'm not tapped into the community. I just read them all in one go, and there's my there's my experience with the manga. Um,
Fair.
I wasn't with everybody doing book club on Tuesdays. I just
He's
kind
different.
of
He
just
says he's
just
different.
just doing it
He
myself.
He just called
man,
you a
just reading.
fucking nerd, Archie. That's translation.
I didn't say
You
that.
hear nerd, I heard knowledgeable.
Oh shit,
Right,
solo
that
leveling
he's
is 200
knowledgeable.
chapters.
He's knowledgeable. It's a lot.
I think the first like 80 something or 90 something chapters are part 1. I want to say.
Oh, okay. See, that's knowledgeable. I'm glad he like we exchange information like that. That's good because then I can become more part of that.
I
I mean,
could have made up
was
those.
there a big moment that ended part 1 that
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm about to say
No.
I'm looking at the
There-
arcs. I'm
yes.
just trying to find.
Ichiban. It's after the huge battle, like the one, you know what I mean, like the huge war thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The guilds?
the end of that is part 1.
the
Like
thing
the
with the
end of part
guilds.
1. Yes,
Okay, all right. Gotcha.
that's the end of part 1.
It does not have any
although,
arcs
let me-
past. My fault.
Let me backtrack
Chapter
real quick
70, 80.
based off of what you were saying as to like him being unstoppable.
Which he is.
Based off of, is everybody caught up in the anime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just in case, because I know Cardiac, you haven't read any of the manhwa,
Oh yeah. No.
right? Dylan, have you read anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Just anime.
but since we're caught up in the anime, luckily there is a detail that they throw in there. Spoilers, by the way, if anybody's not caught up. Well, by the time this releases, right?
Yeah.
We'll
Who
be-
cares?
Yeah, it'll take a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of, I think we're on episode 6.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
He says, "Fine, if the system is going to use me, I'm going
I'm
to
gonna
use
use
the
the
system."
system.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I think before that there was a moment. I don't know if it was on 6 or if it was on 5, but he's like, "Why is it built like this? What's it getting me ready for?"
Mm.
Those are huge questions, very big questions.
Mm.
The reason why he's becoming as powerful as he is now, like how he was able to take down that spider, use that full recovery, which I agree with Archie that like in retrospect, that was I was like, I really wish he didn't use that full recovery. I wish he would have like been in some trouble, which okay, that would have definitely built more tension on that.
If he didn't
But
use the
there's
full
a
recovery, he would have
reason-
died.
No, I don't think he would.
No, he would have not died.
Nah, he
No.
wouldn't have died.
Not against those guys. No, he would have not.
No. Or the
Against
spider.
the spider, he used
No,
it
he-
mid spider fight. He
Yeah.
literally used it because if he didn't use it, he wasn't gonna be able to move, and the spider's leg was about to fucking crush him. If he didn't use that full recovery, he was fucking dead.
Yeah, but they could have.
If you want to
could've
talk
tweaked that a
about
little bit.
like not taking into account of a main character immunity, like if you want to take it into account, if he didn't use that full recovery, he would have fucking died.
But no cap.
Because
That's
literally
what
he
makes a main
used
character.
everything up.
That's what makes a main character.
Like-
The immunity, the power of friendship, like coming in the plot armor. That's what makes a main character. Not gonna lie.
And
Yeah,
like
so,
I said,
that's
to me,
I feel like that's not a great argument there because that
No,
even in that moment, like that was if he didn't do that, he was fucking dead. It's not even like an overpower
Okay.
thing. It was he
I don't
played it
think he would have
smart.
died.
well,
And-
here's my thing with it. All right, this is the last like to me, this mission, this dungeon mission, was like the last of like what I think are the good parts of solo leveling. So I think this was a great part for what it is.
I'll say this
So early,
How?
Archie? Really?
What?
Yeah.
What? Hold on.
real quick. I'll say
What?
this to Dylan's point. If this anime wasn't set inside of a world or in a system that has clear, rigid, like video game systems, and it was just like a normal fantasy anime with like built-in dungeons or whatever, and the main character just had the willpower to like roll dodge out of the way, but like still grimacing and in pain, and like after the fight, clearly not okay, to like roll out of the way of the spider, and it was just like sheer willpower, that would be like I think that we would still accept that as a logical conclusion of getting out of that
But
situation.
it loses the whole element of the fact that he's using the game system. It, like him interacting with the new system that he is given, like that's the whole concept. That like I feel like that highlights his use of that system.
Yeah, but they don't gotta do it like that every time. I feel like
What do you mean every time
the
though?
dude, because they could have gone a little bit in a more creative route rather than him remembering that he had a full recovery in his inventory. He could have just been like, I don't know, like it could have just treated it like a regular battle.
As well as the fact that wasn't shown
Like
to us
just
prior. Like, was it shown to us prior that
yeah.
he had like a free get out of jail free card or a free
Well,
like just health?
so it didn't show that he was collecting them, but he does.
He did mention it.
Like you see,
Like,
It's
yeah,
he
like
does
playing a
mention
video
it a
game and
few.
not putting like saving some of your fucking skill points.
But you didn't show
That's
that.
what he did.
So
Yeah,
You don't need to
they
show
didn't
that. You don't need to show somebody not using something, in my opinion.
no, but you didn't
That's
show it.
like
You didn't show
Nah.
him gaining it either.
Nah, you,
Nah, that I don't agree.
yeah.
You didn't.
He's
You
been
like you
letting
didn't.
us know
You
this
didn't show
entire
him
time.
earning it. You didn't show him working for it. You just showed him using it. That's an ass pull.
So he showed you. They showed you counted, and they showed you every 18 levels when he was at 18 level. They showed you every level
Hold
up
on,
he had.
hold on. Just to clarify. They did show when he earned them,
Okay.
but they only showed us that he would use them right then and there. They never showed us at any point
That he
like
was saving it.
him saying, "Oh, let me save one of these"
Okay.
or something.
I feel like
So-
that's not an important detail. I feel like that's a cooler detail to be like, oh shit, he had the hindsight
It's
to
a
save
get
some
out
of
of
these.
jail free card. What if?
Like
what
he
if
had a fucking hindsight to save some of these. I thought that was like, damn, he actually thought
It
ahead.
looks-
He's not relying solely on this shit, because if he hadn't thought of that and he just mindlessly put all this shit in, he was fucked.
But when you don't show
Alright.
that he's consciously thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna save this for later," then it just seems like a cop out.
I
Yeah.
guess, but I just think it seems like a reasonable way to do that.
Regardless of that nice little sidetrack, that was a nice argument, by the way. Yeah, there's a way bigger thing going on.
Yeah.
And that's why he's becoming like a Saitama character, so to speak.
Dude, there's this. I know Ichiban. You know this, but there is a scene I'm thinking of where if they show it in the first season, I don't know if they're gonna show it in season 1, but when they show it and they reveal this power, like nerds will cream their pants when they see it, and I'm going to just roll my eyes like, of course you guys will cream at that shit. Okay, bro.
Archie's
Which
talking
one
to
are
me
you
and he
talking
thinks I
about?
don't notice.
Which one are you talking about?
You know which one.
Is this the instant dungeon
I mean,
arc?
it's
My fault. I'm just trying to map out how much they're gonna cover.
I don't know what the names of
No.
the arcs are. I'm not gonna lie. I only know them as part 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
that's not this is
Oh no,
after
you're
the instant
instant dungeon says is first hunting solo mission.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
That's the
I
one
know,
where he
I-
goes.
I- subways. That was the subway.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
That's
the
that
instance
one.
dungeon.
So this was
Yeah,
This is
and
the
if
first,
it's not-
like
lizards. Yeah, this was lizards, dungeon and lizards, I believe.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
It says-
I know. I know
It
what
says
you
this
mean
when he
now.
defeated
Yeah, it's a
giant
little later.
arachnid
Oh.
That just happened.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that
this
just
this
happened.
was this arc. Okay.
Oh,
If it's the arachnid thing, then yeah.
So we're about chapter
No,
25 in the anime now.
yeah, the lizard one.
Is a little later. I know where it is now. It's later when he starts developing his unique like powers and stuff.
Yeah, okay. I'll let it be,
Yeah.
just because I'm not entirely sure and I don't want to spoil nothing.
It'll be interesting to see
But yeah,
as it
Yeah.
progresses.
yeah, for sure. You just give it a chance. Let it play out. It gets intense. It gets more interesting because it becomes less. It becomes less about. Damn, I don't even know. There's a
The
bigger
interesting
picture.
the interesting moments of solo leveling will be when he's not on screen. I will say that. To me, the interesting moments after this point is when he's not on screen.
I can see
Personally,
that.
that's just me though.
I can see. I definitely want to see them tap back into the healer girl.
Yeah, like the characters that they show you in the like throughout these past like 6 episodes where they kind of like pan, like you kind of see them doing their thing, but you don't really know anything about them. They'll be important later on, which I think you guys can like
Good,
get out
because
of
I
like,
don't
oh,
care
why?
about them at all as of right
Okay.
now. Because literally,
Well, they're
anytime the camera's away from him, I'm just like, bro, go back to the fight, bro. I want to see what's
nah,
going on.
they're important. They're important. Like, for
Yeah,
later
hold
on.
on. I'll say this because I found a way to word it. So it becomes less about defeating him, and it becomes more about like how
Because
he
you
did in
can't defeat
episode
him.
6, trying to protect that rich kid. It becomes more
Mm.
about him being able to protect the people that he cares about, and if he's able
Okay,
to do that or not.
that's good.
And that's when it's like he's like oh shit, I'm facing problems, and that's when everybody will really get sucked into it.
Okay, because they I feel like they tried to throw that at the end of this past episode where like he was thinking about old girl. He's like, oh, so I guess she did. Either he said like she got out safely, or she got something, or he saw something that reminded of her once they were out the dungeon. I'm like, dude, you didn't think about her at all the last 2 episodes, so this is kind
He
of bringing
literally,
it
I
to
mean,
me.
he saw her. He saw her in person. She was she was the healer there with the stone giant. He saw
In the
her,
city.
and
Oh
he saw
yeah,
her. He saw
yeah.
her
Yeah.
fail to cast a spell, and he said, "Damn." So she's still shaken up from the dungeon,
Oh
and then
no,
he fucked that bitch up.
that was episodes ago. I'm talking about at the end of this past of episode 6. He didn't see her. Something happened that reminded him of her, and then
Hmm.
he made an offhanded comment about her, or like caring about her, or like showing some type of level of like care about her. And I'm like, that's kind of out of nowhere. I just wish that would have been like at the back of his head during the battle. But if they're gonna get more into that of like him actually caring about people and then like fighting because he cares about people, bet that's all I need. That's all I need. Because like the series isn't bad. It's like in Fire Force tier with me, where like it's a really exciting, really fun watch. Um, not much to it at all. I'd watch it in the background while I'm editing something. But if they can add him actually giving a fuck about some people, that'll be great. That'll be great.
I'm curious how they're going to go about like because I didn't get I didn't get this part where I was watching it so far, but they don't mention where they are in the setting of this, and in the manhwa they made it super clear this is South Korea.
Mm.
But they didn't really go into that here, so I'm just curious if they still kept it South Korea or if they're changing
I
it to a different
swear there was
setting.
Or if
like
they're avoiding
some
it.
issue with that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Like
I'm just
whether
curious. Yeah,
yeah, I swear I heard some arguments about if they were gonna keep it or not
yeah.
for I don't know what reason.
Which is interesting because there is a huge moment in the manhwa where it was an important detail. It's going to be an important detail at some point later on, but I don't know if they changed it or not. So who knows? It's a down the line issue. Honestly, like I don't really care if they show for it now. But I just did find that interesting. Where like they haven't blatantly told us where this is, whereas in the
Yeah,
manhwa they did. So
yeah.
I'm just curious.
Okay. Okay.
Damn, that's
Hmm.
cool. I forgot about that.
Before
Yeah.
we wrap up here, you know, we've talked about some of our favorites. We've talked about some of the more underrated things of the season. Overall, looking at the lineup of specifically this season, so excluding Frieren, excluding Apothecary, excluding Undead Unluck,
Right.
is this season not mid? Is it not mid? Like
It's mid.
there's a lot of
No, it is mid.
really
I'll give you that.
cool shows. There's a lot of good shows. There's a lot of good television, good Japanese, some good titty shows, some good action, some good romance. Some good magical girls, some good school anime. That's just mid. It's just mid. I'm sorry. There's nothing that jumps off the page.
It's pretty.
Me.
It's pretty mid. I'm not gonna lie. And comparing it to last year's winter of 2023, where we had banger shows like Vinland Saga Season 2, we had Bungo Stray Dog Season 4, Buddy Daddies was lighting it up in terms of slice of life and the comparisons between Spy Family and itself. What is it? I know there was another.
I was about to say I
one
can
watching,
pull it
but,
up
like,
to make sure I'm not missing nothing.
Yeah, there were like a lot. There were a lot of bangers. I want to say last year this time, and so compared to that, it's like this is kind of it's kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie. Not a lot of like standouts besides like maybe A Sign of Affection because it's an interesting romance about deaf like girls and like how they go through about their lives, and Solo Leveling actually being a Trigun Stampede. There we go. Trigun Stampede light it up too. As well as like for this season, Solo Leveling is making waves because this is actually the first manhwa adaptation that's actually good. I'll say it's a good adaptation. So other than that, it's what's up?
Someone commented on our TikTok right now saying that Tower of God was a better adaptation.
That is ass.
I know you.
That is an.
Aren't you a Tower of God defender?
Me?
Yeah.
Who? Me?
Ichiban.
Oh, Ichiban.
I mean, I think it's good. I don't really have an opinion on whose was better. I like both of them.
Okay.
I've also read Tower of God. No, it's not a good adaptation. I think the manhwa did it way better. They explained things more. They went into the world more. The artwork is worse. I'll give you that. The artwork is worse. But other than that, Tower of God, the anime didn't do anything remotely better other than the art.
But that's just Dylan, did you see Tower of God to be a tiebreaker here? Damn. Oh. We'll leave it pitting against. But how do y'all feel?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how y'all feel about the season? Is it mid? Is it a good season? Not saying that all the shows are mid. Just saying as a season collectively, it's a all right viewing experience. Do y'all?
Not enough highs.
Okay.
Not enough highs that stand out.
I believe that. Ichiban, what do you think? Is it mid or do you think otherwise?
I think I'm with Cardiac. There's nothing that really jumps off the page for me. It's just good. I don't want to say mid, but I'd say it's good.
Okay.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you think it's because there's not like that standout shonen that makes this season mid?
No.
Because
maybe it's because Shonen's fallen off. Reference the last pod.
Tune into our other pod about when we talk about that. Yeah, for sure. No.
Yeah. Hey, all I'm saying is, if Bucchigiri is your best shonen, yeah, it's kind of fallen off. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, I guess Solo Leveling isn't shonen because it's not in the fucking manga. Right?
Yeah, Solo Leveling's not shonen. It's not. Yeah.
It's the same shit.
See, I don't feel like that's why I never pay attention to specifics and shit like that. Like I hate the fucking like shonen. I just want to watch fucking anime. Just let me watch shows and not have to worry about fucking what kind of classification of fucking show it is. Jesus Christ.
Well, to me, I like classifying because it gives me an expectation before I watch it, so that I know like what to expect. That's just me though. I know other people don't care about that, but I do. I'm just like, all right, this is a shonen. All right, I gotta lower my expectations a little bit. And
I judge people based on how they look too.
Don't you? Doesn't everyone? Like if you're ugly, you're ugly. Like it doesn't matter. Like
I mean, people say not to judge a book by its cover, but like that's why there's a book cover, is so you can judge a book by it.
Yeah,
exactly.
because to an extent,
No,
like
Dylan's
these are
without having to read
Yo,
it.
these are still
hold on,
products.
Dylan. Yeah, hold on.
The book
That
cover?
shit made so much sense. I'm surprised that shit made sense.
What is that supposed to mean?
He's surprised I said something that made sense.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
that's-
because I'm not
that's
gonna lie.
straight up.
Usually he just be yapping whenever
Dude,
he's
that is
because I thought you were gonna make a joke, and then he was like, I
Nah.
was like, hold on. That shit
He's
made
actually
sense.
spitting. Wait a minute.
He's spitting
on,
for
let him
real.
cook.
Oh shit.
Let him
Holy
cook.
fuck.
But it gives a general expectation not to judge the show, but to know, like, these are still products that these different companies are asking us to invest our time or our money into, to watch it, to care about it, to retweet it, to do whatever. So it's good to have some type of classification system, whether that be for demographic, for genre, so people who know themselves and what they're gonna like if I was recommending a show to you and I said that was an isekai, I'm sure that in your head, like, that would just be like, okay, this is something I'm familiar with. I know some of the tropes. I know kind of what to expect. I know I'm probably gonna have a good time with it. If I said it was an isekai power fantasy with an overpowered protagonist, that's up your alley, and you're gonna watch that shit.
I get that for sure. So here's let me put it like this. I'm fine with certain categories because they're like overarching, but when you start like specifying like shonen, and what's considered shonen is the shows that were specifically posted in a Shonen Jump magazine, that's too fucking annoying for me to pay attention to, especially because I don't pay attention to the written material. I usually be watching
You're an anime.
So every
only.
time somebody's like, oh, have you seen that new shonen, or shonen have fallen off, I'm like, what the fuck shows are shonen? Because there's lots of shows with fights and action and shit like that. There's a lot of them, and a lot of them are
I
outside
would think
shonen.
everyone's definition of shonen should be the same, but whether a show is shonen or not, that's a different thing entirely. Because I do remember plenty of times where people are like, wait, what? Like it's under the shonen category or it's under the
Exactly.
romance
I hate
category.
that
Like,
shit. I hate that shit, bro. Just let me like if you're gonna tell me a key to like an isekai I know for a fact is another worlds type situation. Like you say isekai, that's very easy. You say shonen, I'm like, okay, it was posted in a magazine. Thank you. That gives me lots of information to go with on whether or not I'm gonna like this anime. I appreciate it.
Well, that's
It's
why
good
like
to know that it's good to know that it was posted in a magazine once.
I mean, that's why I use terms like battle shonen,
Yeah.
romance shonen, because it gives you
Because
like,
shonen is the
more of a
demographic. That just means it's
understanding of-
intended towards a younger audience. So, like, if I were telling you the difference between what to expect in A Sign of Affection or what to expect in My Dress Up Darling, A Sign of Affection is a shoujo. It's not only is it targeted towards girls, specifically younger girls, which makes sense that it is themed the way it is, why the main character is female, why it's from a female perspective, why it's brighter colors, why it uses softer art, etc. Compared to My Dress Up Darling, which has more ecchi scenes, which focuses more on the fan service of this guy being with this girl for a first time or doing this or whatever. Because those things do frame the show. Like, granted, for some stuff, it's just as simple as, oh shit,
too much, bro. Just call it a fucking romance. Look into it. If it's too much, if it's too immature for you, be like, it's for children. Move on.
But how do you know that before
That's
you
me.
watch the show unless you put a label?
Fucking if you give me a category, like that's the thing. You can niche down categories all you want, and all it does is get more and more confusing. Give me overarching, give me romance, action, blah blah blah. If it has romance and action, be like, hey, it's got romance and action. Thank you. Now I know. That's giving me, at least I know what's going on in it. But if you're sitting here subcategorizing everything, bro, it gets so fucking confusing. And I'm just like, give me the overarching theme, give me the overarching genre. If it's a genre that I think I'll like and it sounds interesting, I'll check it out. If it's too immature, then cool. I didn't have to like fucking learn my fucking anime vocabulary to be able to understand how the fuck like anime works. I really don't want to have fucking flashcards and go to sleep and be like, all right, seinen is this. Damn, I was wrong. I don't want to fucking do that. That's too much, bro. That's too much.
I will say.
Just let me watch
Oh
it.
shit! Why am I blurring?
I will say this on my video talking about has Shonen fell off. I specifically put Battle Shonen because it's the type of shonen that is falling off to me, at least, which is like an action oriented boys, a bunch of things going on at once with action in it, and to me that's Battle Shonen. But that's why when people say shonen, I do want them to be specific and be like, what kind of shonen? Battle shonen, romance shonen, whatever.
Sports
that's
shonen.
why I would prefer them to sports shonen.
I wish you had Mal so I could see
fuck
like
off
how many
for
series you've seen.
Every single thing you just said.
I wish you had
too
Mal
much.
so I could go through your anime and see how many series you've watched that are like specifically intended towards an older versus younger audience. Because like I feel like if we were to see that and then like 80% of your shit is like shonen, and then the other part of it is like isekai that isn't even like categorized, because that's also another thing. Isekai, you like isekai for the most part.
Uh-huh.
Isekai like are not for the super majority of their time. We're not, especially the ones that are popular. We're not published in like magazines, manga magazines, because they're light novels.
They're novels.
Yeah, so like that, it makes a lot of sense that like as someone who consumes well, not a majority, but a lot of anime from something that doesn't even utilize those categorizations, it makes sense that you just like don't really give a fuck about that shit.
It's just literally every time y'all make a specific categorization of an anime or a subgenre or some bullshit, it just goes right over my head, and I'm just
because it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you.
I know what that is. I know exactly what category, and I know all the other shows that are the same category. Yep, absolutely. That's just me.
Honestly, when it comes to like what you prefer, that's kind of why I'm watching Metallic Rouge, because it's a sci-fi and I like sci-fi. But honestly, like if it wasn't a sci-fi and it was an action show, man, I would not be continuing. I would not, like, literally it's just because it's the type of anime that it is. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna continue, even though I'm confused as hell and kind of don't know what's going on. I'm gonna keep continuing. And it kind of Delicious in Dungeon, like we said before. I don't really know what's going on. I don't really care about the characters. There's no story, not really. I dropped it. But if it was a sci-fi, I would have continued.
Oh shit, Ninja Kamui isn't up here either, and that's rated. That would be tied with Solo Leveling.
Is Ninja Kamui rated that high?
Yeah, it is at 8.45.
Ninja Kamui is supposed to be cracked, from what I've heard.
Less than 8,000 people have
seen
it.
The clips I've seen too.
Can someone tell me what it's about?
I'm on it right now. It is a original action sci-fi from Sola Entertainment, which is the same people who did God of High School and Tower of God.
Oh no!
But it's at 8.5.
No sleep. Do not sleep on Ninja Kamui, bro. The clips. If you have seen any clips from that show, do not sleep on Ninja Kamui, bro. There's no way. If you had seen some of the clips from it, because I've seen some of the clips through TikTok scrolling through. Like, if you saw some of the clips, you would not be saying what you're saying right now. This shit looks fucking fire. Like,
I will say this. He said sci-fi, so I'm immediately interested. So.
Yeah,
it's good, bro. It's like.
I was gonna read.
I don't want to give a synopsis because I haven't watched it. I only know what I've pieced together from various things, right? But it's supposed to be really fucking good. Like I saw a clip from a fight scene. I saw a clip from a fight scene and it reminded me of that infamous God of High School fight scene.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's sci-fi? Because I'm looking at it right now. It says action adventure.
I'm looking at it on Mal.
Oh, okay. So it's considered sci-fi on Mal.
Yeah.
I mean, it says here like there's cyborgs and stuff. So
yeah, it says a former ninja who escaped his clan is hiding from his violent past in rural America with his family. One night, he is ambushed by a team of assassins from his former organization who exact the bloody retribution on Joe and his family for betraying their ancient code. Rising from his seeming death, Joe will emerge as his former self, Ninja Kamui, to avenge his family and friends. He's a 21st century ninja in a shadowy anachronism who pits his ancient skills against high-tech weaponry with brutal finesse. So yeah, the synopsis does promise some sci-fi elements as well.
Okay. it also shows that there's only 2 episodes out, which means it's easy to catch up
Ah,
to. So
and
I'll
easy to
probably-
Oh,
rate.
it's new. It's new.
Yeah,
It's new.
yeah. So I'll be. Oh wait, there's only 1 episode. Wait, hold on. Is there only 1 episode out? Let me double check. Yeah, there's only. Wait. Yeah, there's only 1 episode out.
Oh, okay. I'm not
Of
taking
Ninja
that score
Kamui.
serious then. Damn. Fuck.
But it looks interesting. I'll let you guys know if I like it by tomorrow morning. I'll let you guys
Yeah.
know.
Check back in.
But anyways, guys, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Bet. Sounds good to me.
Eat your bun or
Who's wrapping it
Yeah.
up?
Overall,
Wrap it before you tap it.
overall, I think it's mid.
And this is the part where we unfortunately have to say goodbye. Like I don't know. We're just gonna say goodbye, listeners. This has been your new addiction. This has been your new favorite podcast series. This has been the flow. See y'all later. Peace out.
Flowing out.
Peace.
Oh my god.